Good thinking. All right, ECCL.
Okay, I wanted to introduce John Baker, who is from Swinnerton Construction, who is the owner's rep for the project for both the school district and the city. And John will give an overview of where the project is. And this is kind of the first of regular reports that we're going to be bringing to the city council and the school district on the project. So go ahead. You okay?
I think I got bumped out. Go ahead.
Was that
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the
Oh.
the presentation I sent going to?
Oh,
That's not affected.
I did not put that up there. I don't think we didn't put it on the desktop. Okay, just
Okay. Okay.
they have a copy of it here. You know what? Let me.
Keep them over there. That's the computer, not this. Oh, okay. Oh, come on. There we go. What's that noise? It's Karen's computer.
Last meeting of the year. We're gonna get there.
Old school.
There you go.
But that's
Scroll
fine.
through.
That's fine. There we go. Thank you for having me here tonight. Again, my name is John Baker with Swinnerton, and we were selected in in June of this year as the city and district's project manager representing the city and district for the ECCL project. I do want to point out that although my company's contract is with the school district, we work on many joint agency projects, and I truly view myself as representing both the city and the district. We meet with the city and district every Monday morning with the city manager and the superintendent and talk about project issues together, and I want to make sure that I'm representing both agencies, and I look forward to updating the council regularly on project status and project issues. And this is the first sort of regular update that I'm giving tonight. And this will just take a few minutes, and when I do this, I'll talk about schedule, project budget, show construction progress photographs, and talk about key issues to inform the public and also the council. I know that there are 2 new members here at the council, and so I just want to give a brief, very brief overview of the project. I know the other 2 of you have heard this many times, but I just want to kind of point out the scope of the project. There are 5 parts of the project. 5, we call them buildings A through E. Building A, if you'll see there, is the community multi-use building at the corner of 53rd and San Pablo, and that's a large community room that's both a city and district resource for the entire community. The building along San Pablo we call Building B, that has city and district office on the first floor, a health clinic and family resources center on the second floor. At the rear of the site, between the field and the buildings, is the K-8 school, which is a 3-story building with the K-8 classrooms. It also includes a multi-use building that's for the school. At the corner of 47th and San Pablo is the high school, the 9 through 12 classrooms, the site of the Emeryville Secondary School. And then finally, towards the west of the site is the renovated gym and community recreation building, including the pool, which is managed primarily by the city, but also is used by the school. So it truly is an integrated complex that's both managed kind of jointly by the city and the district, and also has a large field and track area at the northwest corner of the site. And so as I give these updates, I'll refer to buildings A, B, C, D, and E, and other portions of the project. But that, if you've got any questions about the scope of the project, the history, I would be happy to answer those in this forum or separately. So now the update. So the first part of the update is the soil remediation closeout. The state of California regulates school sites at a very high level in terms of toxics and hazardous substances. The Department of the Toxic Substance Control is the agency that oversees this. They require that every school site be clear and of all toxic and potentially hazardous substances before construction starts. In late October, we received partial site approval of all areas of the site except for Building A. What had occurred is during our site soil remediation, which took place between April and October of this year, during that remediation, the testing, while we tested soil and took it off site if it had hazardous materials in it, revealed some unforeseen materials at the Building A site. That's near the corner of 57th and San Pablo. Rather than having a stop while that was, and that was motor oil is what it was, rather than having to stop the project and do additional testing, they actually did what's called a partial site approval and allowed us to start work on the rest of the site. This is pretty unorthodox. The good news is that enabling us to do a partial start of construction on the site, instead of having us be pushed back 2 to 3 months in the schedule, it only pushes back 3 weeks. And I want to commend Ninian Moore, who's our soil consultant, as well as the folks we've worked at DTSC to put forth a creative response to allow us to do this. So we've resequenced work around Building A. We anticipate getting separate approval for Building A site this month in December, and then we'll be completely done with all of the soil remediation on site. So it was something that was, when we found out, it was concerned us that it was going to delay the project, and with some creative work by the state and also good work from our consultants, we were able to mitigate that to a minimal disruption of the project schedule. Design and construction update. Currently, Building E, which is the old gym, the abatement and demolition is complete. So we've removed all hazardous substances from that facility. The grading work is now complete. The steel fabrication for the seismic upgrade and for the new buildings is in progress. That steel is being fabricated in facilities in Hayward and Antioch. The Building E seismic upgrade, again, this is the old gym, which is being funded by FEMA. That seismic upgrade is in process. It's just started. We've started putting anchor bolts in and some other steel pieces. And site utilities are in progress. So I will point out that site utilities were to start in earnest 2.5 weeks ago, and we've had a little bit of rain lately, and so that has slowed us down. Now I want to point out, however, that rain days are built into the construction contract with Turner Construction, and they're only allowed an extension of time if we have 150% normal rain days. It obviously keeps raining like it has been. That may become an issue, but we don't anticipate that, and so the schedule is built to absorb these days as we move forward, but it has slowed the start of site utilities. We guys still have some design activities. The pool design is in progress. We're going to bid that work out as an addition to Turner's work in January. The health center, we've had a lot of discussions with Lifelong, who is the operator of the health center. Their work is funded by the Alameda County Health Agency. We had a meeting today where we're finalizing some slight revisions to that facility by the operator. And the library, we've done some redesign of the library after some discussions with some library consultants. And the city and district are still in discussions with various folks to see who may be the ultimate operator of the library.
Oh, I have a question for you. Could you go back to that? On the site utilities, does that include the fiber optics?
Yes, it
for the
does.
broadband?
Absolutely, yes.
And could you tell me the capacity of the fiber optics? Is it capacity just for today, or is it built in for expansion?
It's a great question. We have fiber for both the district and the city have contracts with the same fiber provider. We're putting in both the service for the current site and also spare 4-inch conduit for upgrades in the future.
Expansion. That's what I'm looking for.
We have quite a bit of capacity for future expansion, actually.
Very good.
You'll see here, this is a what we call an 8-week look ahead, and when I give you these updates, I'll kind of show you what's happened over the next 8 weeks. I won't go into detail, but you'll see Building AE work is underway. That's the seismic upgrade of that facility, and also the site utilities are underway. Again, this was sent out in the packet, and we've had more rain, and so you'll see the site utilities, the primary lines. We're supposed to start in earnest at last Monday. We've gotten a couple of days of work in, but that's gotten pushed out a bit. But again, there's no overall impact to Turner's contract schedule from the rain that we've had lately.
Are we going to be able to use the swimming pool next June?
I'll show the contract completion date for the pool is August.
Oh,
It was
gee.
July. No? I thought it was July, no?
No, it's August. When we those dates were presented to council when Turner's contract was awarded back in August. I'll show those to you in a moment here.
Okay.
I just have some site photographs here now. The first thing we had to do is there's actually a culvert that runs through the site. Temescal Creek was culverted in the 1950s and runs through the site. There's a very large, it's a 10-foot by 15-foot culvert that runs under the site. We're not building any buildings over it, but we are putting new site work over it. The fields and some of the landscaping go over it. Because there's an easement that runs through the site, the Division of State Architect required that we do some strength testing of that culvert to make sure that we weren't overloading it. And you'll see there's a hole there. We had to drill about 25 holes and do concrete strength testing before we were able to grade over the site. All those tests came out negative, positive, meaning that the concrete is strong enough. So we were able to cover the culvert back up and grade over it. Now you see grading activities. You'll see the water tanks that are there for dust control and some of the equipment. This is what's called rough grading when the dirt is moved around site. Again, all this work happened after the state cleared us for that we remediated all potentially toxic and hazardous soil from the site. So this is all clean soil that we're basically moving around to get the final the grades for the buildings and the landscape. You'll see the heavy equipment, large graders. And there's the water trucks. It's very important when you do this kind of activity to spray the site to maintain dust control. This work all took place after we received approval from DTSC in late October. So this is really sort of early November, really the month of November, where these photographs are from. It was quite a bit of activity out there with a lot of earth being moved around. And there's the finished grade. So finished grading is now complete. Finished grading is within about 6 inches of the final grade. So now we do building pads, trenching for site utilities, foundations, get trenched through that area. You'll see that it's been wet. These are pictures from 2 weeks ago when the council packet went out. Finished grading is complete, but you can see the site is wet. We have been able to get about 2 days of trenching for site utilities in there, but it's been, as everyone knows, it's been quite wet. This photograph shows is over towards the Building A site at the corner of 53rd and San Pablo. That's the site that we are still needing to get the final approval from DTSC. You can see that area back here is kind of rough and has not been finished graded yet. When we get that approval, we'll come back in and do that. The good news about that also is the Building A is the last building completed in the site, so that issue has not impacted the completion of the pool or the high school or the other early completed portions of the project. This is inside the gym. This is when we were doing the interior demolition. That's the old gym floor coming up. You'll see that the current bleachers, which will be reused, are protected during construction. And now this shows all that complete. So all of the parts of the existing gym that are being demolished have now been completed. Now we're doing the seismic upgrade, and then we'll do finishes after that. And this shows old restrooms being taken out and things being taken out of the studs. This shows will be a new structural slab to strengthen the slab as part of the seismic upgrade inside the gym. So the gym is going full steam ahead as it's not impacted by the weather. Also, we've been working on finalizing furniture, fixtures, and equipment. A good part of this project is not just the construction, but also all the furniture, fixtures, and equipment which go in the new buildings. The FF&E program was developed last year by our consultants. Some furniture was purchased, quite a bit of it in the temporary Emory Secondary School, which is at the Santa Fe site, and also at the Anna Yates School. The city and district have completed their review of the program, and we've made a few changes to that program. Also, both the city and also the district have looked at all existing furniture and fixtures and equipment which are in current sites, primarily the school sites, which can be moved. And that's been identified, and that's important because we're going to realize some cost savings by furniture that's already been purchased, and also moving some recently purchased furniture into the new school. So this is a big effort that we'll be managing over the next 6 to 8 months, is identifying and starting to procure furniture for the buildings. You'll see this. This is a table which has been used for the last several years in the project, which shows milestones and activities. The grayed out areas are those which are complete. This is going back over the past about 10 months. The areas in yellow are the ones currently in progress. You'll see at the very top, soils mitigation, that is nearly complete. Will be done as soon as we get our final completion from the DTSC. Primary construction contract was executed on August 21st and is underway, as the photographs I've just shown you. You can see furniture and fixtures and equipment that right now what we're doing is we're finalizing that scope. We'll start procuring that between January and April. The first batch will be for the gym and pool area. We'll phase out. There'll probably be 3 procurements for the gym and pool, for the high school, and the remainder of the project. And at the very bottom, you can see the milestones for move-in. The gym and pool are moving in the July and August time frame, so the pool will be, and gym will be operational in August. The high school between November and December of next year, about a year from now, and the entire project will phase sort of between March and June. That's buildings A and B and C will complete and will move in between March and June of 2016. So that's the update for this week, or this month, I guess, and I'd be happy to entertain any questions that the council should have.
Just keep going. Very good. Any other questions?
I have 2.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Diane.
So I have 2 questions. I think this has come up in a meeting in the past before I was on council, but I just would like to get the answer as to who is maintaining emeryvillecenter.org, which was a website meant to give some transparency to the public on what's going on with the project. So I appreciate all of the information that you brought to us today, but I want to make sure that the stakeholders in our community have that same path to information without necessarily having to call each of us individually and getting the packet forwarded.
As do we. We've been sleuthing that out over the last month. I've been working with both the district IT person and the city's IT person to figure that out. The site is registered to the former facilities director of the district, Roy Miller, who departed about, I think, at the end of last year. It has been updated as recently as March or April, but we've not been able to sort the technical parts of that out. I'm eager to do that, and when working kind of every day communicating with those folks to try and figure out how we do this. As soon as we get it solved, we will be updating it. We'll be updating it regularly.
Great, and I would love to know when that happens so I can let
once we
my
do it,
constituents
we'll
know.
send a message out to everyone and let them know, everyone in both the city and the district, and let them know.
Thank you. And you mentioned some creative reuse of furniture and equipment, and I am all for recycling. I think that's a great idea. It's a great way to saving costs. However, I just want to make sure that the timing works optimally for the people who are using the equipment and furniture, and that there's that it's adequately timed so nothing is planned to be taken out of, for instance, Annie Yates while the school is operational.
No, those moves will happen at the time that we move the school. Okay. The K through 8 school, the Annie Yates use, that move will take place at the end of the spring semester of 2015, the end of next year. So we're not going to be we'll do it when school is out for the I guess the summer break in June. I think that right now we're planning.
So I'm sorry, summer break 2015 or 2016?
June 2016.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, obviously, since we're using that, and a lot of that, much of the classrooms, it's more in the secondary school than Annie Yates, but a lot of those are going to be moved because they're newly purchased, and we're reusing those, as you mentioned. But those moves will all happen. The secondary school move happens during the winter break this time next year, and K through 8, that move takes place at the end of the school year in 2016.
Yep.
Any other questions for John? Ken, you had a question?
You know, I did mention this some time ago, and in view of the recent protests, I'd like to know if there's any preparation being made on how that building could be protected in the event of a civil disobedience, because it's going to happen, so.
Any other comments? Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate the update.